in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so we will always be with the Lord. Therefore, encourage one another with these words. Now, keep going here. The view that we're arguing against would say that the next verses describe the return after the 7 years. What we just read is before the 7 years. That would be the argument. Chapter 5, verse 1. Now, concerning the times and seasons, brothers, you have no need to have anything written to you, for you yourselves are fully aware that the day of the Lord will come like a thief in the night. While people are saying there is peace and security, then sudden destruction will come upon them as labor pains come upon a pregnant woman, and they will not escape. But you are not in darkness, brothers, for that day to surprise you like a thief. Just stopping there. It's interesting, verse 4. You are not in darkness, brothers, for that day to surprise you like a thief. Seems very strange that he would say that, since no Christians will be there for that to happen. He should just say that they will not overtake you at all, because you'll be gone 7 years before that day of verse 4. But he says it won't surprise you like a thief. In other words, you will have some sense that you're getting close to that day right before the day happens, and you'll still be in the world when it happens. It's not going to catch you off guard. You won't be caught like a thief. But it seems strange if he's addressing the church to say here, it won't surprise you like a thief, when they won't be there at all. It seems very clear to me that they will be there and that they will not be surprised by it like a thief. But here's the point I wanted to point out. I mentioned this 2 weeks ago. I want to read through this really quickly. G.K. Beale's commentary on 1 Thessalonians. Get this. The parallels between Matthew 24 that Greg and I were just looking at and 1 Thessalonians 4 and 5, these two paragraphs, are incredible. He gives 13 parallels between the two passages. Now, here's why this matters. Matthew 24, Jesus' return, everyone agrees, is after the tribulation, right? If 1 Thessalonians 4 and 5 is describing one event that is the same event as Matthew 24, which you would expect to see if there's a lot of parallels between them, then that would have to mean that the rapture text in 1 Thessalonians 4 occurs after the tribulation, because it's the same return as Matthew 24. If that makes sense, listen to 13 parallels between the two texts. I'll just mention them very quickly. Number one, obviously Christ returns. That's 1 Thessalonians 4:16 and Matthew 24. From heaven, both texts say that. Accompanied by angels, both texts say that. With the trumpet of God. That's pretty specific. The trumpet of God is in both texts. It's the only time Jesus ever mentions a future trumpet. It's also the only time Paul ever mentions a future trumpet. Are we really thinking these are two separate trumpet calls separated by 7 years? The simpler answer seems the better answer. It's one trumpet. It's the time of the resurrection and the judgment. Number 5, believers are gathered to Christ, right? The elect or the resurrected saints are brought to Christ. Number 6, it happens in the clouds in both texts. Number 7, the time is unknown. Jesus says even he does not know in his humanity when he was going to return, and Paul clearly says we don't know the day or the hour. It's got to be the same event. Number 8, both texts explicitly say, this is in 1 Thessalonians 5 and Matthew 24:43, that the day is going to be like a thief. It's got to be the same day. Number 9, unbelievers are unaware of the impending judgment. Both texts say that. Number 10, judgment comes as pain upon an expectant mother. Labor pains are in both texts. It's got to be the same event. Number 11, believers are not deceived. That's in both texts. Number 12, believers are called to be watchful in both texts. And there's a warning against spiritual drunkenness in both texts. And what's amazing is Matthew 24 is lining up with both 1 Thessalonians 4 and 1 Thessalonians 5, indicating that those two paragraphs are referring to one singular event. And I think that is a very strong argument, especially with the trumpet call of God appearing in that text.
Well, I think it seems obvious, based on what you just showed, that Paul is referencing what Jesus